Hello everyone, and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. It's a new week, which means there are new roles. We're going to jump right in with the Crucible Quartermaster. Let's look at the 0-Day Dilemma Auto Rifle that comes with Third Eye, Braced Frame, Appended Magazine, Battle Runner, and Grenadier. This just doesn't do it for me, man. I'm going to pass on that one altogether. Next up, the B-29 Party Favor with Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Lightweight, Outlaw, and Take a Knee. If you're a fan of this archetype of pulse rifle, this is a good one. The only thing that I would change out is maybe instead of Outlaw or maybe instead of Perfect Balance, I would trade in high caliber rounds, but even still, this is a solid pulse rifle option in the Crucible, so definitely check it out if you're a fan of those types of pulses. Hero formula with Third Eye, Braced Frame, high caliber rounds, Rodeo, and Last Resort. So this is actually going to be more of a Crucible role with Third Eye, high caliber, and Rodeo. If you just want to try this out in the Crucible, this actually isn't a very bad archetype in the Crucible. It hits pretty hard for its rate of fire to impact ratio, and this is not a terrible Crucible roll. So, yeah, that's worth checking out, definitely. Next up, the Palindrome, one of my favorites. Luck in the Chamber, Reinforced Barrel, Casket Mag, Mulligan, and Partial Refund. So again, another Crucible roll this week. I would say Luck in the Chamber, Reinforced Barrel, and run with Partial Refund, because you will undoubtedly get some assist in the Crucible from time to time. If you don't get a lot of assists, but you do miss a lot of shots, then I would say go ahead and use Mulligan, and you have yourself a fairly solid Palindrome. Back-to-back weeks with Luck in the Chamber and Reinforced Barrel. That's pretty good. Next up, Each New Day Fusion Rifle with Hidden Hand, Hand-Laid Stock, Snapshot, Knee Pads, and Underdog. This is a good one for Crucible. This one's a great perk for Crucible. And Knee Pads is okay. I mean, if you want to be one of those annoying people sliding all around the map in the Crucible, then, you know, whatever. But this one just doesn't do it for me, man. I would say use Underdog here, Hand-Laid Stock, and Hidden Hand, and you have a decent, not great, fusion rifle for the Crucible. Next up, we have the 44 Curtain Call, Rangefinder, Reinforced Barrel, Perfect Balance, Replenish, Life Support, another Crucible roll, even though this isn't the best Crucible archetype. Rangefinder, Reinforced Barrel, you're going to have really good range on this thing. With the special ammo economy the way that it is, Replenish is actually a very solid perk now in the Crucible. So yeah, altogether, this is a pretty solid shotgun for the Crucible. We had a ton of Crucible rolls last week. It looks like we're starting to repeat that. Anton's Roll Sidearm, Rangefinder, Hand-Loaded, Casket Mag, Zen Moment, and Cascade. I would run... Actually, no. I'm going to pass on this one. You shouldn't be trying to get a hell of a lot of range out of sidearms. You should be focusing more on target acquisition and stability. And something like high caliber rounds right here is going to do you so much more justice than hand-loaded. So I'm just going to say pass on this one. Absolutely pass on that one. Next up, Event Horizon, my favorite sniper in the game. Take a Knee, Armor Piercing, Perfect Balance, Underdog, Perfectionist. We've had much better rolls. Don't touch that one this week. Chaotic Neutral, Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Rifled Barrel, Unflinching, Take a Knee, Rock Rangefinder, Rock Rifled Barrel, and Rock Unflinching, and you will have a pretty good Crucible machine gun. You could also use Perfect Balance here over Rifled Barrel, and it would probably be just as good. So, solid option for the Crucible there. Lastly, Something Wicked Rocket Launcher with Grenades and Horseshoes, Quick Draw, Javelin, Vacuum, and Danger Close. This is going to be another Crucible run, man. I'd say Grenades and Horseshoes, Javelin, Danger Close. What do we have over here? Oh, yeah. You got Soft Launch here, and Hard Launch is what you want to go with, so you don't lose as much blast radius, but you still get a boost of velocity. This, plus this, you get yourself a handy-dandy little PvE rocket launcher. So that wraps it up for Crucible. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, New Monarchy. Assembly 2, with Persistence, Perfect Balance, Third Eye, Flared Magwell, and Lightweight. We have seen much better rolls on this in previous weeks. You should have picked those up and not that one. The Free Will 3 Hand Cannon with Rangefinder, Perfect Balance, Relentless Tracker, High Caliber Rounds, and Lightweight. This is going to be another Crucible roll, man. This is actually pretty good. High Caliber Rounds and the higher rate of fire hand cannons is always great. You're going to get some really good stability here, and you're also going to get a little boost to range. So this is a solid option for Crucible if you like that Thorn archetype. Next up, the Preacher Sidearm. This one comes with reactive reload, hand-loaded, army of one, flared magwell, lightweight. It just doesn't do it for me, man. I would pass on that altogether. Next up, the Bad Council Shotgun, crowd control, small bore, cascade, hand-loaded, lightweight. You're going to be able to get some pretty good range out of this, but it just doesn't do it for me, man. This archetype is more of a PvE archetype than a Crucible archetype, and it just does not have PvE perks, so I'm going to pass on it. The Deposition 7, Hidden Hand, small bore, triple tap, skip rounds, and lightweight. Just doesn't do it for me, man. This archetype won't one-shot people out of supers in Crucible anymore, so I would just pass on that. There's better archetypes out there. There's better snipers out there, period. And next, the First Citizen Machine Gun, Hidden Hand, small bore, Feeding Frenzy, extended mag, and hipfire. So this is going to be the Bullet Hose archetype machine gun. You're going to get a lot of use out of this in PvE if you want to just mow down a bunch of ads, and this is not a bad role for doing that. So Hidden Hand's always good, small bore's always good, except it's going to lower your magazine, so you're going to have to go with Feeding Frenzy here. But that's going to be okay, because with the extended mag, you're going to be reloading a lot less than you normally would. So, yeah, not bad option for PvE. Not great. If you have a better machine gun, then don't buy this. But if you just want a good machine gun to mow down ads, First Citizen is okay this week for PvE. And that does it for New Monarchy. Alright, so moving on to Dead Orbit here, we have the Extremophile auto rifle that comes with counterbalance, perfect balance, spray and play, high caliber rounds, and hipfire. This is a good roll, man. Crucible again, all the way. Counterbalance, perfect balance. You're going to have a very stable auto rifle. And with high caliber rounds, you get that slight boost to range, as you can see there. And also, you're going to stagger your enemies a lot because this is a higher rate of fire, lower impact. This is going to be a solid option in the Crucible. I would definitely pick this one up if you're a fan of Crucible auto rifles, which seems like a lot of people are these days. So moving on, Keystone Scout Rifle comes with Hidden Hand, small bore, unflinching, high caliber, and quick draw. I would like to have more stability on this. If I had something like hand-laid stock here, I would be all over it, but this is going to drop your magazine size down to about 12. Hidden Hand's good, but it's not the best perk on something like this because it already has really strong target acquisition. High caliber rounds is going to give you a slight boost to impact without you really noticing it. It's just going to stagger enemies a little bit more. Altogether, this seems like a good roll, but I'm going to pass on it, man. You could do a lot better than that on an archetype of scout rifle like this. Next up, the Worlds to Come. Eye of the Storm, perfect balance, knee pads, enhanced battery, quick draw. No, I'm just going to pass on that. Don't really have anything else to say. Last Ditch, final round, hammer forged, close and or personal, hand loaded, and snapshot. So this is going to be a fantastic Crucible shotgun. You can see how much range we get from hand-loaded. You can see how much range we get from hammer-forged. And final round is going to make this thing hit like an absolute truck. Do we have a boost to range over here as well? We do not. But linear compensator is good, and field choke is also good. But yeah, that's a solid roll, man. That's a really good Crucible shotgun right there. I'd definitely pick that one up if you are a shotgunner in the Crucible still. Next up, Bitter Edge, Trash Archetype, Firefly, Hammer, blah, blah, blah. Trash, don't touch it. Seriously, it's a trash scout or sniper rifle, man. Don't even bother. You burn through ammo way too fast. Next up, Cluster Bomb, Heavy Payload, Tripod, Field Scout, and Lightweight. So this is going to be a PvE archetype with Cluster Bomb, Tripod, and Field Scout, and you're going to do a lot of damage with this thing. Even though it has a low blast radius and a high rate of fire, let's see what we have over here. We don't have any boost to impact. I would go ahead and keep on Warhead Veneers. Alternatively, you could also throw on Hard Launch if you want to lose just a little bit of blast radius, just a little bitty bit. But Warhead Veneers is probably going to be best. Field Scout, Tripod, Cluster Bomb, great PvE rocket launcher right here, guys. I would definitely pick this one up. And that is it for Dead Orbit. Next up, we have Future War Cult. Looking at the Whale Hand Cannon, it comes with Firefly, Small Bore, Third Eye, High Caliber Rounds, and Quick Draw. This is an all-around solid hand cannon. What side options do we have? Steady Hand. Yeah, I'd probably stick with Steady Hand here. for the sight options, but you definitely want to run high caliber. You definitely want to run small bore, even though it's going to reduce your magazine to about 6. That's going to be really annoying. But having high caliber and Firefly is going to be really, really good. Because the magazine is going to be dropped down to 6, I would not use this in PvE. This is going to be more of a I would not use this in PvP. This is going to be more of a PvE hand cannon. And as long as you don't mind reloading constantly because of that 6-round magazine, you're going to have a very fun, very hard-hitting hand cannon. So I would definitely pick that one up if you don't mind the reload. Next up, the Waltz Pulse Rifle, Head Seeker, Small Bore, Eye of the Storm, Extended Mag, and Snapshot. So this is really good. This is really good. I personally am not a fan of Head Seeker because you should always be going for precisions and not for body shots. And you need to hit body shots to get Head Seeker to proc. So because of that, I'm going to say pass on this one this week. We have seen better rolls. You should already have a really good Waltz if you're a fan of that archetype. Next up, the Waiting Fusion Rifle with Eye of the Storm, Hammer Forged, Knee Pads, Enhanced Battery, Hip Fire. This is good, but not great. I do like this archetype. This is the same as Saladin's Vigil, but you could easily go farm Saladin's Vigil and get you something with Braced Frame and Enhanced Battery and have a rockin' sidearm, or a fusion rifle. So because of that, I'm going to say pass on this one this week. You can go get a free one from Archon's Forge that probably will have better perks. Next up, the Wounded Scout Rifle. This one comes with Crowd Control, Hammer Forged, Outlaw, High Caliber, and Full Auto. This is an interesting roll here. Full Auto is going to be good, and High Caliber rounds are both really good. Hammer Forged and Outlaw are both really good. I'm not too big on Crowd Control, but it is a good perk for both PvE with clearing ads and PvP if you have a lot of people around. The good thing about this is all of these perks don't affect your magazine size. So yeah, this is actually a really solid round. You could rock High Caliber, Hammer Forged, and Crowd Control. You can rock Full Auto, Outlaw, and Crowd Control. And either way, you're going to have a solid scout rifle for both Crucible and PvE. So I would definitely pick this one up. This is one of the more balanced archetypes of scout rifles. This is my personal favorite. So yeah, definitely pick this one up. This is really nice. I like this roll a lot, actually. I would highly recommend you get that one. Next up, the Wormwood Sidearm comes with Reactive Reload, Fitted Stock, Army of One, High Caliber, and Quick Draw. So High Caliber is always good on sidearms. Fitted Stock, you're going to get a little boost to stability. Not a crazy big boost, but still pretty good. But Reactive Reload, it's going to make it a Crucible sidearm as opposed to a PvE sidearm. All three of these perks together in the Crucible are going to make for a pretty solid sidearm. So far this week, this is the best sidearm that we've seen. So I would definitely pick this one up and give it a go if you like sidearms. Next up, the Warpath Rocket Launcher, Grenades and Horseshoes, Heavy Payload, Spray and Play, Flared Magwell, Snapshot. Crucible right here all the way. Grenades and Horseshoes, Heavy Payload, Snapshot. What do we have over here? Confined Launch, Linear, and Hard Launch. You pop on Hard Launch on this. You combine it with Snapshot, Heavy Payload, and Grenades and Horseshoes, and you're going to have a rocket launcher that is going to get you a lot of kills in the Crucible. So definitely pick this one up if you need a solid Crucible rocket launcher. This is a really good roll this week for Crucible. And that wraps things up for Future War Cult. Let's move on to the Vanguard for the last one. Alright, Vanguard Quartermaster. We have the Continental Auto Rifle that comes with Hidden Hand, Braced Frame, Armor-Piercing Rounds, Battle Runner, and Eye of the Storm. I like the Extremophile from Dead Orbit better than this, so I'm going to pass on this one for that reason and that reason alone. Next up, Partheon Shot, Rangefinder, Braced Frame, Lightweight, Secret Round, and Partial Refund. We've seen better rolls on this in previous weeks, so I'm going to pass on that one. Angel's Advocate, we have Hidden Hand, Braced Frame, Armor-Piercing Rounds, Eye of the Storm, and Icarus. We have definitely seen better rolls. 2 weeks ago, he had a Fatebringer roll, and if you watch my videos regularly, you will know that I absolutely love that scout rifle. So because of that, we're going to pass on this one this week. Next up, the How Dare You Hand Cannon, Luck in the Chamber, Hammer Forged, Lightweight, Triple Tap, and Spray and Play. This is going to be a good option for both Crucible and PvE, as long as you don't mind the lower impact archetype of hand cannons. This is going to be pretty solid. The only thing I don't like about it is Luck in the Chamber with a 10-round magazine. Just kind of feels cheap. But Hammer Forged and Triple Tap, both really good perks. Also, Spray and Play, you could do that. Combine it with this over triple tap for Crucible. For PvE, I would definitely run these top 3. Not bad, but also not great. Next up, the X-Astros Fusion Rifle, Eye of the Storm, Small Bore, Snapshot, Spray and Play, Last Resort. Nothing spectacular here. I'm going to pass on that one. Next up, the Teacup Tempest Sidearm. Comes with reactive reload, hand-loaded, high-caliber rounds, Outlaw, and Army of One. So this is going to be really good in the Crucible. This is actually probably going to be your best sidearm option for the week. If you can land your precision shots, you're going to have already really high reload speed. You combine that with Outlaw, and you're going to reload almost as fast as you can fire. You put high caliber rounds on that, you're going to stagger enemies in the Crucible like crazy, and you're going to go ahead and reload after each kill, and as long as it's a precision kill, you're going to be able to get those double kills with this thing very, very quickly. This is a solid Crucible sidearm. I would absolutely say pick this one up. So moving on, we have the Occam's Razor. This one comes with full auto, small bore, perfect balance, close and or personal, and life support. Either one of these are going to be really good in PvE. You combine that with small bore and full auto, and you have yourself a decent, but not great, PvE shotgun. This is going to be okay. If you just need an arc shotgun that's really good in PvE, this is going to be your Huckleberry. I would pick it up. Next up, the 7th Sense, Trash Archetype, take a knee, skip rounds. We're not even going to finish. Don't touch it. Stay away from it. Don't touch it. Bone Crusher, Machine Gun, Counterbalance, Braced Frame, Reinforced Barrel, Feeding Frenzy, and Spray and Play. So this is going to be either Crucible or PvE. If you're going to do Crucible, I would say go ahead and do Feeding Frenzy. If you're going to do PvE, I would say go ahead and put on Spray and Play. For Crucible and PvE, both of these, you're probably going to want to go with Rifled Barrel just so that you don't lose any on your magazine. Stability is always great on machine guns, but when you have a 25-round magazine, you don't want to lower that at all. So for that, I'm going to say use Rifled Barrel on both, and Counterbalance is going to give you that little bit of stability back that you don't gain with Rifled Barrel anyway. So altogether, this is going to be a very hard-hitting, very solid machine gun for both PvE and Crucible. I would say pick that one up if you're a fan. And lastly, we have the Disassembly Required, my personal favorite archetype of legendary rocket launchers, and it comes with Grenades and Horseshoes, Snapshot, Heavy Payload, Spray and Play, and Danger Close. So this is going to be more of a PvE or PvP rocket launcher with Grenades and Horseshoes and Heavy Payload. Unfortunately, you just don't have the perks over here, and over here we can rock hard launch, get a little boost of velocity, which is going to be great. But over here, I would say just go ahead and pop on Danger Close. You're not going to proc it all the time in Crucible, but when you do, it could potentially save you once or twice. So not bad, but not great. And that is going to wrap things up, guys. There you go. There are all your vendor rolls for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Drop a comment in the box below. Let me know if you picked any of these up, tried them out. Let me know what you think about them. Not anything too special this week, honestly. That Future War Cult Scout Rifle is pretty good. Look, a level 2. Let's see if this is a legit level 2 that just bought the game. Grimoire of 125. We have a legit level 2 that does not even have double jump unlocked yet. Hello, level 2. Welcome to Destiny. That's going to bring this video to an end, guys. If you enjoyed it, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you for watching, and take care, guys.